saltiness isn't bliss here. Today on the menu is baked mostaccioli. Let's get into it, guys. I have already prepped a couple of things that take the longest to prep, so we can just dive right in. So we're gonna preheat our oven to 375. Next step for you that I just finished is you want to brown and drain 1 pound of ground beef. And you want to cook 1 box, a 12-ounce box of noodles. I went with the tricolor, doing something a little fancy today. You can use any style mostaccioli noodles that you want. I was looking for the unlined. Those ones seem to cook the easiest and quickest. Couldn't find those, so tricolor it was. So now, in our pan with our ground beef, we're going to add a handful of ingredients and then we're going to simmer for 5 minutes. So that burner we want to have on low. To the beef, we are going to add in 1 full can of diced tomatoes that is undrained. Next up, a half a cup of water. And then a jar of pasta sauce. Now, any brand, any style, any size that you want to use, go for it. I just went with one that I had in the cabinet, but of course, sky's the limit when it comes to the varieties that are out there and the different sizes. So you want your mostaccioli to be a little more saucy, add a bigger jar. This one is 24 ounce, which is kind of the standard, so somewhere around there. So we're gonna pour that entire jar in there. So here we are pre-mixed. Now we wanna just give it a real good mix on the heat on the burner. And then we will add our dry ingredients next. I just feel like sometimes it's easier to mix the non-dry ingredients first and then add those dry ones in last. But of course you can go with whatever order works for you. All right, there we go. So there that is, all nice and blended. All right, so we've just got a handful of dry ingredients and then we will begin our 5-minute simmer. So we're gonna go with 1.5 teaspoons of dried Italian seasoning, 1 packet of sugar substitute. If you're using real sugar, we want 1 teaspoon. And then minced onion, dried minced garlic, that will be to taste. You can substitute these for fresh, so if you are using fresh onion and fresh garlic, you will want to saute that with the meat after it's brown before you add in the sauce, the tomatoes, and the water. So I probably put about a teaspoon each. So there's all my dry stuff on top. I would love to tip that more for you guys, but then it's just gonna pour everywhere and make a giant mess. So let's give that a nice stir. I'm gonna turn my burner up to medium-low because I don't really feel much going on there at low, so I wanna get that temperature up just a little bit. And you're just gonna stir until you notice those dry ingredients really mixing in and you can't see them just sitting on the top anymore. Then we're gonna cover and simmer for 5 minutes. Okay, once your meat and sauce mixture has had time to simmer, we wanna add in 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I have turned my burner to medium, so I do want to put that heat up just a bit because we wanna simmer our whipping cream and we want our sauce mixture to thicken as well. So notice, guys, once you get that cream all mixed and blended in, you do have a nice color change that takes place as well. So that's when you'll know it's all blended in. Put the lid on and just simmer away. Okay, the time has come to layer up our casserole and pop it in the oven. So with whatever type of casserole dish you are working with, this is the one that I'm using today. I've had this for many years, don't get to use it often, so kind of enjoy when I do. We want to heavily coat our pan with some cooking spray. Make sure you get it on the sides as well. So now we are going to start with our sauce mixture. that we have simmering over here. I've got a little gentle boil going. So we're gonna scoop that up, plop it right down in there, and you wanna just keep doing that until you've got a nice layer across the whole bottom. You can kind of use your ladle or spoon to spread it out. So once you've got a nice thin layer, you want to move on to our noodles. So remember, our noodles are already cooked. So what we're going to do is scoop up. We're going to try to use about half of our noodles in this layer. So you're just going to spread your noodles as evenly as you can across that sauce mixture. Of course, I'll give you a peek of that once I get it all in here. So now we're going to go back to our sauce mixture. So this is kind of like same idea as lasagna, where you're just kind of layering all your ingredients, and then you're repeating your layering steps until you've used everything up. Oh, I wish you guys could see this right now. Oh, wait a minute, you can't. How good does that look? And we're not even done. We've still got another layer of noodles, the rest of our sauce, and then all the cheese at the end. Okay, so we've got it all layered up in our pan here. Last step is we're gonna put our cheese on top. So we want 2 cups of shredded mozzarella and a 1/4 cup of Parmesan. Now your Parmesan can be shredded, it can also be grated, whatever you have. So let's start with our mozzarella. We're just going to sprinkle that as evenly as we can across the whole top, and apparently on the stove top as well. Last is our Parmesan. And then Parmesan just loves to kind of ball up, so I'm just going to kind of break that up to spread it a little more evenly. Okay, so there it is, ready to go in the oven, anywhere between 25 and 30 minutes. See you then. Still bubbling right out of the oven. This is almost like a really amazing pizza meets pasta with that thick layer of cheese. The longer it's in the oven, the hungrier you get, because the more the delicious smell fills up the whole house. And now the time has come to put it on a plate and finally dig into it and just get a forkful. So I'm gonna put it on this cute little plate. Why? Because of Christmas in July, of course. All right, let's get a really big scoop here. I'm just gonna kind of scrape the edges, although we put all that cooking spray on there, so not really a problem. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So much cheese. There it is. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.